God expects us to stretch out, take risks, develop and grow. He is excited when we expand and gear up for greater. He gave you your gifts, expecting you to develop and multiply them, not to shrink back, not to be lazy, not to be held back by fear, but to develop what He has given you to its full potential. One of our greatest challenges is that the journey is not as simple as going from greater to greater. We don't leap from mountaintop to mountaintop. Quite the contrary. The journey is usually from mountain to the valley to the mountaintop. Our challenge is that the valleys come unexpectedly, and we certainly don't recognize them as seasons of strengthening and developing. In fact, our perception is quite the opposite, and every voice coming against us at these times is trying to confirm the opposite. When in a valley, we usually cannot see any way out. We only see the dark valley, and unless we have a correct mindset, we could very well get stuck there. The valley is a place where we get discouraged and disillusioned if we allow it to, because it seems that there is no way out. There is a great scripture in Hosea that says that God can transform the valley of trouble into a gateway of hope. If we are unaware of scripture, we can easily misinterpret our situation. We may wrongly believe that we have failed and that we have been thrown in the valley to die. I can't help thinking about Daniel, who was thrown in the lion's den. He did nothing wrong. He just continued to worship his God, but people had set a trap for him. When he was thrown in the lion's den, he could have easily given up, but he continued to trust God. When the king looked in the lion's den in the morning, Daniel was alive. God had protected him, just as He protected Daniel's mates when they were thrown in the fiery furnace. The king looked in and saw a fourth person. God was with them in the fiery furnace. Likewise, God is with us in our valleys. God is with you in your valley. The valleys are designed to take us to new levels, not to devour and destroy us. The valley is not your destiny. The valleys are temporary, but you can't reach your destiny without going through them. When you have reached the top of a mountain, the way to go higher is to go back down into the valley and then proceed to climb to a higher one. That's how we go to new levels. Without the valleys, we could get stuck at a certain level. So we need to get a totally different perspective of our valley seasons. We are not supposed to stay in the valley. It is not there to stop us. If we view it correctly with the right mindset, it is there to promote us. God is with you in every part of the journey. Don't forget that at the end of the valley is a gateway of victory, a gateway of hope. But you must fight at the floor of the valley, and most of that is done in the mind, by renewing your mind to the promises that God has given you. Don't speak defeat in the valley, as it only invites more of an atmosphere of defeat. The words you speak are so vital in that valley. Our words can confirm God's promise and create that gateway of hope. Somewhere in that valley there is provision to get you out, but you will not find it if you're not looking. Don't listen to the negative words that continue bombarding your mind. We need to take seriously what God has given us and choose to line up with what He says about us, so that we don't live in the remorse of lost opportunity, but in the promises that He has provided. This is Rosanna Palmer.